So originally I planned on reading these two books for the month of June. Yes, I know that there are only two books, but this might take me a while. I got into watching a television series because I like to watch TV while I knit, and now I'm no longer in the mood to read those books. So far the premise of this video has been that I was watching TV while I was knitting, and I watched Orphan Black, like a lot of it, like an entire season within a week, but that was only 10 episodes. Anyway, because of that, I was no longer in the mood to read the books that I had set out to read. However, that pretty much only lasted for, I don't know, like a day or something. I've read Drowned. I loved it. It was great. And I read a chapter of Ronald Takaki's book, and it was good too. Anyways, the part of that video that is relevant was that because Orphan Black is like a sci-fi show, and it did get me in the mood for something that was sci-fi or fantasy related, and it caused me to remember something. Quite a while ago, I kept on getting these two YA books mixed up because they both ended with and bone. Daughter of Smoke and Bone and Shadow and Bone. And if you take off the daughter of, it's like those titles are just really similar, you know what I'm saying? Smoke and Bone, Shadow, and that. And also, they're both blues. Yeah, so I kept getting them confused, and I was like, I've been hearing good things about one of these books, or both of these books. I don't know which, I don't know. How about I just read both of those books at the same time, see what I think? And then I forgot about that until recently. I started reading Shadow and Bone first. I read like 300 pages in a day, which I know is normal for some people, not for me. There's this orphan named Alina. She's in love with her best friend, Mal, but instead of actually telling her friend Mal that she's in love with him, she just ends up being very jealous of the girls who actually make a move. But yeah, that doesn't really last very long because it turns out that she has superpowers. And they don't actually call it magic, they call it small science, and only a select few people can do that, and she's one of those people. Yeah, she has to go to school, but her power is very important. It might help fix a problem that they've been having with the whole shadow fold thing going on. There's a bit of drama on the way to school. People might try to kill her and shit, but once she gets to school, it was 100 or 2 pages of she struggles with summoning her power. She has this one female friend who, she actually keeps it real with. And then with all the other characters, there's like all this jealousy going on. There's people who are nice to her, but they're gossiping about other people, hierarchy stuff. And I mean, there were these two characters who were pretty much interchangeable. There was very little development in terms of a lot of the characters. I did enjoy the book, though I did feel that something was missing. I came up with a tentative explanation, and I want to stress that it's a tentative explanation. When it comes to twists and breakthroughs, I want it to serve a dual purpose of moving the plot along and explaining mysteries of the past. With fantasy, it's kind of easy to pull something out of your ass for convenience, and I need to know that didn't happen, that it wasn't just put there to be convenient, that it's part of the mythology or whatever. There was this one breakthrough that I thought was really good at doing that dual purpose. Was not the case with most twists or breakthroughs in the book for me. Okay, so far I've read the first 40 pages of Daughter and Smoke and Bone. I think it's good. I quite like it. It's unique. I stopped at 40 pages because she's about to go on this errand, and I figured You know how in books something happens at the beginning that sets everything in motion? I figured it would be that errand, and so I closed the book and did other things that I needed to do. I think that last clip explains how I read so slowly. Anyway, book is about this girl named Karush who lives in Prague. She goes to art school. She lives this double life. She grew up with these chimera, and so she always knew about this fantasy world, but at the same time, she didn't really know anything because Brimstone, one of the chimera, he never really told her what was going on. My favorite character was Zuzana. That was Kara's friend from art school. I like to know about as little as possible about a book before going into it. I didn't read the inside flap until all of the stuff that was in the inside flap actually happened in the book. I did end up going on Wikipedia halfway through, and I didn't read the summary or anything, but I did scroll down and I saw the tags. It said romance books. At the beginning of the book it says, once upon a time an angel and devil fell in love. It didn't end well. I just assumed that was about her parents. Maybe angel and devil, one of them meant smoke, the other one meant bone. And somewhere in the book we were going to get some answers and we were going to find out who her parents were. When I read on Wikipedia that it was a romance book, I started wondering if she was going to fall in love and like, which one was she? Was she an angel or was she a devil? I kept switching back and forth through a lot of the book. I didn't know until I knew. About the romance, I was not into it. When it was introduced to me, I was like, no! Take it back, take it back! Was not a fan. Still not a fan. It got to a point where I tolerated it more. I wasn't rolling my eyes at it, but no. There were things that I liked about the book in the beginning, but towards the end, when I got to see what the plot was really about, I thought back and it was like, there's so much that was in the beginning that wasn't relevant. There were characters who didn't really contribute to the plot whatsoever. And what sucks is that all those things that ended up not being relevant were the things that I really liked about the book. I don't think that I'll be continuing on with the series.